Hello? Hello? You guys hear me now? Do I have the right microphone? Should be able to hear me now, right? Let me know if you can hear me. Good. Chatty Jen, what's up? Let me make sure my sound's right. Hello? Hello? Echo. 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 All right, should be good. I should be able to operate without these headsets. All right, we got it. We got it. Yeah, this case is crazy. It's insane. It's crazy. Lord. There's new footage. I got Dan Bongino. Oh my Lord. It's just too much stuff. Too much stuff. Good to see you, James. Sounds great. Live it alone. I'm leaving it alone. What is this? I think we're going to skip that one. This one's got new footage of other creeps running around. But let me not get ahead of myself and share my screen. Let's see.
Nancy Guthrie investigation and alleged kidnapping. We all don't know what in the world is going on. We've heard confusing and conflicting conversations and conflicting information from the sheriff there in Pima County Sheriff.
You guys hear that?
Nanos, he doesn't even know what's going on. He doesn't even remember what he said in a lot of these interviews. So we're still at a situation. We're at a point to where we had this big event that happened Friday night going into Saturday morning. That SWAT went to a scene. They had one stakeout. The SWAT went to a home on a home out there near Nancy Guthrie's house, and they detained several people at that home. And then they found a vehicle at this Culver's restaurant, and they searched the vehicle. They put up a tarp. They were taking stuff out of the car, and they detained the gentleman there. There's more information on who that gentleman is. Not going to get into that too much until we verified some of that information.
I mean, I'm trying to link Luke Daley, and then there's some people called the Days. We'll get into it, but there's a spider web of people that goes all the way back to a relation to the Guthries that you'll see coming up.
All that went down just for us to find out that not only was there not as much there as we thought, but Pima County said they were following a lead, and the lead pretty much led to nothing much when it comes to finding a suspect involved in this case. Now, we haven't gotten all the information from them. We know that the car was towed from the parking lot of the Culvers, and we know that when they went to the house, there wasn't anything found there that was tied to Nancy Guthrie. So we're finding out some more information. We've got some new video that's surfacing from Nancy Guthrie's neighborhood, near and around her neighborhood, near and around the neighborhood that Annie lives in with her husband. And then we're actually going to hear from a former Tucson police.
Hey, Deb, what's up? Good to see you, sweetie.
Police chief on what he thinks about this entire investigation and how it's been handled. Shout out to the Nerdy Addict for posting this over on X. He says, on 2/20, several days after Nancy disappeared at 1 a.m., A neighbor reported that an unknown individual walked past their home and returned a few minutes later carrying a large bag about 7 miles northwest of Nancy Guthrie's home. Now, this is in or near her neighborhood. Again, with this entire burglary situation, it doesn't make sense to me that this was a burglary, because
this guy is Class E. So shout out to Class E for this video.
it's all the information we're hearing from the FBI and Pima County themselves is that nothing was taken from Nancy Guthrie's home other than Nancy Guthrie. So again, why they would break into the house and not take anything doesn't make sense to me. Look at this video.
So there's a dude back there dragging like an empty bag, dragging something like a tarp or a bag. You can kind of hear it.
See the person walking past there.
We're getting there. How do you say that? Grenady, Grange. I feel like it's all a distraction. None of it makes sense because it's not supposed to make sense. That's my opinion, and you are right. You are exactly right. This is a distraction. This whole damn thing is a distraction. It's all a psyop. Hey, sidekick, what's up? The research I did today just brought me to the conclusion that the whole thing's a psyop. Epstein's not dead. And Ghislaine, whatever, Maxwell is not even in prison. They've done a swap of her too. I mean, it's nuts. What the hell's going on?
Are they carrying a bag or are they carrying a trash can?
A bag or a trash can?
And then you've got another video here from the Nerdy Addict. He says on January 29th, this is actually a couple days before Nancy disappeared. He said a video was posted on the Ring Neighbors app with a warning of watch out, a man trespasses through their yard. Another neighbor reported a man going through their mailbox at 12:55 a.m. What is going on in this area? What's going on in Pima County? It's not a great look that people are updating this to the Neighbors app. And
probably is in Israel. He was a Mossad, I believe. So, yeah.
Showing that there's a big problem in this area with people just wandering the neighborhood with backpacks trying to break in. And it says another neighbor reported a man going through their mailbox at 12:55 a.m. on January 20th, while a third video from January 27th showed a masked man trespassing and checking car doors at 12:41 a.m.
Masked men everywhere. All over the neighborhood, masked men in the middle of the night.
All of those incidents occurred within a 5-mile radius of Nancy Guthrie's home. Here's another video. What is
Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell are together somewhere, like nothing ever happened. You know what I'm saying? And now they're pissed and they're taking revenge on Savannah for interviewing those victims, is what I think.
What's going on out there in Pima County? This is just so, can y'all imagine? This is just some random guy going through their mailbox. Sheesh.
You didn't have a mask.
Wow. Though, let's go ahead and go over to live now and hear from this former police chief out there in Tucson on what he believes is going on in this Nancy Guthrie investigation, and if we're going to find her, if there's going to be any new information soon. Interesting stuff here.
We are continuing to follow all of the developments and any details regarding the missing persons case of Nancy Guthrie. That search is entering week 3. We know that law enforcement also combing through several evidence that has been gathered. They have been gathering more potential evidence as the search does continue for the 84-year-old who is the mother of Today Show host Savannah Guthrie. Now, she was last seen at her Arizona home back on January 31st and was reported missing the following day. Authorities say her blood was found on the front porch and purported ransom notes were sent to news outlets, but 2 deadlines for paying those ransoms have since passed. Authorities have expressed concern about Nancy Guthrie's health because she needs vital daily medicine. Joining us now to talk about where this investigation stands and what police and sheriff's officers and really FBI agents are going to do going forward in this search is going to be Lorenzo Villaseñor. He is a former Tucson police chief.
Hello, Luna Moon. Good to see you. Come on in, everybody. Come on in.
Roberto, good to see you.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Of course. You have been following this case very closely. As someone who has worked in the area for several years and also has the mind of an investigator and someone who was a former police chief in Tucson, what sticks out to you most from this case?
Well, I think at this point, just the sheer volume of this case and the magnitude of the amount of work that investigators have to do on the ground is just it's enormous. I've not seen anything like this before. What I heard is they have over 30,000 tips that they need to follow up on. Now, that doesn't mean that every tip is
that's a
perfect
lot
or anything. You have some that are just absolutely, you can throw out, space aliens and stuff. But the majority of them are going to be things that you just have to follow through on. You can't ignore any tip because you don't know what's going to provide you with the information that you're going to need to get a break in the case.
What is it? 30,000 tips? 40,000 tips? Who the hell's going through 30,000 tips? That's crazy. It's insane. There ain't no way you're going to go through 30,000 tips. Come on, man. That's crazy. That didn't look right. All right, let me try to find the right one. I don't like that one either. How about this one? No, not that one. Let's try that one. I like me bigger. I look good. I like looking at my handsome self.
And so you try and work together with all your partners, both local and federal. I think you saw, in fact, you covered with the operation that occurred a couple nights ago. You saw many different agency vehicles there. You saw Oro Valley, Marana, Tucson was there, Pima County Sheriffs, and all federal agencies as well. And luckily here in Tucson, we do have a great working relationship between all the local and federal agencies. And so it's good to see that they're still continuing that.
How did I stop?
And they're working together to try and solve this case.
Let's talk a little bit about the sheer volume of tips that police have received. It's something that sticks out to you from this case as a whole. I mean, we're talking about tens of thousands of people calling in, trying to provide information. And as investigators are continuing the search, how do these individual departments handle that sheer volume of tips coming in from the public? And how are priorities shifted with each piece of information that they get?
And how do you get 30,000 tips? I'm a sight. You guys like my shirt? Is that mauve or salmon? What is that? Let me know in the chat what color my shirt is.
You've hit on such an important part of this investigation because it is such an enormous triage operation to try and identify those that, there's going to be duplicate tips. There's going to be tips that really may key on information they already have and give more credence to those tips. And they try and identify those quickly, assign them to people to follow up on. In addition, they've been back out to the scene several times. That could be as a result of something that came in on a tip. They had the operation, which they said came about as a tip from the public. So the public's involvement in this is enormous, but it's all.
I like that. Peachy salmon. Perfect. Peachy salmon. Looks good on the Mabster. That's what I'm talking about.
Also quite daunting to the investigators and people who are working the investigation on scene.
It's interesting that he says that because we've heard a lot of, let's say, somewhat outrage from people saying that the public need to stay out of it. If you're not from there, don't worry about it. We've even seen a representative from the state of Arizona and that area say, hey guys, you YouTubers, you people who are talking about this, just stay out of it and don't be concerned. And this man, a former Tucson police chief, is saying that the public has done a great job with helping what's been going on, giving leads to what they're seeing. So it's a stark contrast to what we're hearing from other people who are, let's be honest, they're probably just embarrassed at the way their city's being portrayed.
Sadie's mama, what's up?
It's tough, man. You got to blame it on Sheriff Nanos and even the representative I'm speaking of. I'll have to find you guys the quote from in the next video. She said that, yeah, maybe Sheriff Nanos needs to not talk so much. Let me know what you guys think about this in the.
You're out. All right. Oh shit. My my stupid StreamYard screws up and I have to do this. Good grief. My StreamYard is weird because on the layouts, it just goes into this little box where I can barely even see it. MAGA, conservative. She might be shipping margaritas. She might be sipping margaritas in Mexico. Yeah. Probably next to Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell. What a bunch of psyops. What a bunch of deep state sons of bitches fucking with everybody in the United States. I'm getting sick of this shit. I've been alive for freaking too long. I've seen too much, and I'm getting sick and damn tired of how this whole operation works, man. I'm telling you. Hey, Sandra. Good to see you, darling. Lefty DNA, did you? Yo, DNA. Because you have to have, by law, in order to enter the thing into CODIS, you have to have a lab in the state where the crime occurred. You ought to know that, Dan. Come on, man. You believe they have a Bluetooth signal sniffer on a damn helicopter? How many Bluetooth things are running around in your neighborhood, in your house? You got your earbuds, your damn smart fridge, your microwave, your damn, uh, every damn thing. Taterbug, I've come around to your way of thinking. This whole thing is a damn psyop. Yes, I'm telling the truth today, and it's all coming out. Epstein, Ghislaine Maxwell has been body swapped. Hey, Joyce. Good to see you. Taterbug, yes. You got it right. I just had to catch up. blue fly technology. Come on, man. Taterbug, I mean, it's not just the Clintons, it's everybody that is threatened by those files. All of them together. Imagine the power of all of those people that were in the Epstein 30 million pages or wherever the hell it is. I got it pulled up. I'm searching it on my own computer, the Epstein files. Crazy. It's insane. Clintons are behind this particular one because they're testifying right now. Yeah. They're sending a message to everyone who'll be testifying. What a cluster. She ain't coming back. I don't think she's coming back. Now, if anybody ever gets charged with this, it'll be a patsy. All right. So, yeah, I wouldn't waste any time going back there. If it was me, I wouldn't go back there. You ain't getting nowhere with no DNA in this deep ass rabbit hole. Good afternoon, Connie Branch. Good to see you. Yeah, just leave JLR out there going through tunnels feeding dogs. Homeless dogs. I made some notes, but I don't know where the hell I did with them. Is that young man in jail for Charlie Kirk a patsy? Yes, he is. Definitely he is. I looked through that case. If you go back, I did some videos on it. He was shot from the rear, from the trunk of an SUV. And the whole thing was just bullshit. Probably still alive. This whole world's a damn, just like Wizard of Oz. You know what I'm saying? There's some fat dude behind the curtain running the show while we're all looking at the damn screen and all the smoke and mirrors. Thanks, Tina G. I love it too. It's peachy salmon. That's the color. Oh, Connie. We love you, Connie. Dolly going back to Arizona. I haven't heard. He's been trying to replay some of his lives and listening here and there, but I haven't heard the final decision. He's talking about going back to Arizona. It's going to be raining for the next 3 days. I can tell you that because it's raining here. Mr. Michigan, what is up? Venison roast. Oh my God, I'm hungry already. Oh Lord. Oh, yeah, the more I look into this case, the freaking wilder it gets. It's just crazy. There's too much weirdness going on.
Welcome back to Hannity. So as the investigation into the bizarre and horrific disappearance of Nancy Guthrie continues, could a medical device help crack this case wide open? According to reports, a sophisticated tool known as a signal sniffer has been deployed on a helicopter in order.
A Bluetooth signal sniffer. There's like a gazillion Bluetooth signals coming out of every damn house in the world. How are you going to tell which one's her pacemaker? That doesn't make any damn sense whatsoever. Does it make any sense to you? It makes no damn sense to me.
To track down Nancy Guthrie's pacemaker. Here with the latest, the host of Crime Stories, our friend Nancy Grace is back. So you have the sheriff clearing the family. The sheriff saying it may take a year, which I didn't like. The sheriff at odds with the FBI, whether he wants.
So the sheriff's already setting it up, right? They know it's going to take a year. That's why the Sheriff Nanos is floating the year out there. Years. We might never know what happened.
To admit it or not. Now we have a glove with DNA, apparently. Another
Hey, Alicia, good to see you. Alicia Beth.
TMZ email. Now they launch the signal sniffer. You heard Dan Bongino's reaction. He wished that was not public. And we still are looking into the Walmart purchases. All right, a lot to chew on tonight. What are your thoughts on all of it?
Well, let me just start with Walmart, because there's more to it than just the backpack, which the Ozark backpack is exclusive to Walmart, but the jacket that he was wearing also sold at Walmart. Not only that, and this is much, much more to me important, and that is the holster, that polyester holster that is sold at Walmart. Now,
Oh yeah, this shirt. I buy these shirts because I go fishing in Key West, and it's like hotter than hell there. And these are like that thin material that the wind like blows right through it, and it doesn't stick to your skin. I have a bunch of these saltwater angler shirts. They're sweet. I love them. Saltwater Angler. There's a store called the Saltwater Angler in Key West. I go in there. Every year I go there, I buy more of these shirts. And so I think we've been there like 6 times now. Every May, Memorial Day weekend, we go for a week or week to 10 days. It's awesome. Sadly, it's the last day of my harvest. What are you harvesting?
Now, interesting, because it's a polyester holster, Sean. It's not your first choice of holster. It is not reliable. It's not as safe as a firm holster. Very few of them are sold. And not only is that holster sold at Walmart, very few of them, as I said, are sold, which would narrow down the purchases. You know what else is sold at Walmart beside the backpack, the jacket, the holster? A similar ski mask, burner phones, Sean, burner phones. Now, we know that Carlos Palazuelos was identified because his phone was in the area quite often. He's a delivery person there. Now we know people down the street were raided. Their phones were there. They're looking at phones. A burner phone is not as easy to track because you don't have to list it like with T-Mobile or AT&T. You can put.
Yeah, Columbia is cool too, but Saltwater Angler is better than Columbia, in my opinion.
Any name you want there, and you can get the burner phone from Walmart. My point is this Kidnap Central? Did the perp get everything on a trip to Walmart, including that holster, which is very identifiable? Not only that, we are learning that the FBI is going to local gun stores as we speak with approximately 40 names and photos and asking, have those people purchased guns at the gun store? The gun to me looks like a Walther.
He could have got that gun 10 years ago or 5 years ago. How are they going to ping that burner phone? Is going to come back to Clinton's. Yeah, that's right. Bill Clinton sitting in a hot tub with a 14-year-old.
Can't be sure, but that holster would work with a Walther. Now, I want to talk to you about the blue fly technology that he just mentioned he wished wasn't out there. What that is technology that can identify a Bluetooth signal. Nancy Guthrie's pacemaker contacted her clinic, her doctor, the hospital, through a Bluetooth signal there in her home. This technology is no longer strapped to a helicopter. A cast, which is, as you know, FBI cellular analysis survey team, a cast member contacted the FBI over the weekend and said, use this on drones. They have now switched to drones, low-flying drones, not helicopters.
All right. They're never going to find it through a Bluetooth sniffer. We're going to search all the way down to Mexico for everybody's pacemaker. Come on, man. Y'all ain't gonna do shit.
Why? Because a Bluetooth signal can only go 20 to 40 feet, right? Remember, we believe Nancy Guthrie's pacemaker quit connecting when she left the home, got 20 feet away from the source. So they're having to fly very low in order to detect the Bluetooth signal. Now,
A Bluetooth signal. I've got my car's damn Bluetooth. My phone hooks to my car, that's Bluetooth. My phone hooks to the AirPods, that's Bluetooth. I got a Bluetooth freaking bore scope that works with my phone. Everything's Bluetooth, and that's like 4 or 5 things just in my house. Imagine everybody else's house has 5 things in it. How are you going to tell what a Bluetooth signal? How are you going to tell a Bluetooth signal out of the sea of 50 million Bluetooth signals? They're going to say, oh, there's Nancy's pacemaker right there.
one more thing tonight.
What a waste of freaking time. Smart TVs, smart damn refrigerators. Shit, your refrigerator picks up your voice. You probably monitors what you take out of the damn fridge and then pushes ads to you for baloney or something.
The DNA. I heard something earlier. I disagree. CODIS, which is, of course, the combined DNA index system, is nationwide.
You're right, Taterbug. I thought you were kind of out there a little bit, but now not so much.
And of course, it has felons and some misdemeanors in there. But if we get a hit, we can get an almost hit or a near hit, which means
Let's get an almost hit.
a relative of the donor, the DNA donor, is in the slammer, has been convicted. So then it doesn't have to be a perfect match. You can then determine a relative's DNA is on that glove.
Yeah, I think they're gonna. I think Luke Daley will be the patsy, and maybe Zach as well, since he's got the dealership where that Range Rover came from. One of those people is going to be the patsy. I wish I were wrong. We both know this. There is evidence and truth to all of this, and how the world works, and through whom the world works. Yes, we do.
And from there, you go to genetic genealogy. It's bam, 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 bam. That's what's happening right now. Those STR, short, tandem, repeat DNA analysis are being.
That's kind of weird. Anyone see the short documentary about Savannah Guthrie? It was put out 3 months before the kidnapping. There are a couple of them talking about her hometown. Kind of odd. Davina! Helena M! Good to see you, dear. I'm glad you're here.
Made. A dream come true, I did agree with that comment, would be if the DNA on the glove matches DNA found in the home. The DNA found in the home is very, very sensitive. It's not like blood or sperm where you get a lot of DNA touch. DNA, very, very fragile.
10-10-10, good to see you.
And I still disagree with sending it away from a Quantico lab. But that's said and done, and now we're waiting for the results. And it doesn't take that long.
I know the ratings went up when she left. Now she's freaking out. Much better without her, yeah.
It shouldn't have taken this long, as a matter of fact.
What do you make of the TMZ email? This is the 4th one from one individual given the same Bitcoin address.
I think that is, I don't think it. I know that it's worth pursuing, and I believe the FBI is pursuing it.
So Savannah's hard to work with, huh? Like a general. So now the ratings are going up without her. Interesting.
We're hearing what Harvey is saying. What we're not hearing is what the FBI is doing, because with every note, have you noticed, we get another tidbit of information? And I've noticed with witnesses that I put on the stand, you have to ask the right question to get additional facts. It doesn't mean they're lying necessarily. It means you're not asking the right question. Every time we get more information, okay, Mexico, more than one person, one leader, definitely Nancy. None of that is inconsistent. Nothing that has been said in those notes is inconsistent. And I find that encouraging? Have I fallen for it hook, line, and sinker? No. Is it worth pursuing? Yes.
Yeah. The level of the last Instagram post by Savannah, I mean, the level of stress that you can see on her face. I mean, it just is heartbreaking as we now enter week 3. Nancy.
What's going on here with TMZ? 13 minutes ago.
TMZ has received another email from somebody demanding money. This is somebody who says they have been trying to get in touch with.
Yeah, the whole mainstream media's job is to pit one side of the country against the other. Harvey's one of those too. Oh my God. I don't want to know. I don't want to know. But the whole mainstream media is to race bait, pit brown people against white people, against Chinese people, against everybody. If we're fighting among them, if we're all fighting among ourselves all the time, we can't unite as a people and demand justice and demand what we should really have. You know what I'm saying? We got way more in common than we have apart. You know what I'm saying? It's just crazy.
With Savannah Guthrie's sister Annie and Savannah's brother to no avail. And they are now saying that they have information about who the kidnapper is. And they are demanding
Right, Taterbug.
money. They want 1 Bitcoin, which is around $55,000, $56,000, depending on the hour. And they are saying at the end, time is more than relevant. So they have a Bitcoin address, which we have verified is real, and that they want 1 Bitcoin deposited. So in return for giving information about the identity of the kidnapper.
So why don't you put up the money, Harvey? But you got so much damn money at TMZ. Put up the money or shut up.
Now, again, this is not somebody who says they've kidnapped Nancy. It's somebody who says they know who has. We have no idea if
I'll watch that too.
this is authentic. We have forwarded it on to the FBI, and they are looking at it. And we got this early Wednesday morning. Beyond that, we have already told you that there has now been activity in this Bitcoin account that was included in the first ransom note that we received. We are not saying what kind of activity, how much money. I know there is another story out there about that. We are not going to comment on that. We gave our word to people and involved in this case. We are going to honor that, but only to say that there is.
Good grief. That was scary. But like to blow me out of my chair. Throw off the public. Yeah, Harvey just wants to be in the middle of everything. Yeah, they just want to divide and conquer. Bunch of assholes. They ain't fooling the Mabster. Mab knows what's going on. We're going to get down to some meat and potatoes pretty quick here.
Welcome back here on Live Now from Fox. And I do want to get you right back into some of the big stories that we are covering on this Tuesday. And of course, you have probably seen this video by now as it has been circulating. We have the latest on the search for Nancy Guthrie, the kidnapped mother of Today's Show co-host Savannah Guthrie. The sheriff in Pima County, Arizona, saying the Guthrie family and their spouses have been ruled out as suspects. While he didn't explain how the family was cleared, the remarks from Sheriff Chris Nanos come days after he explained that no one had been ruled out. In the meantime, it's now been a week since the doorbell camera video that you're First off, I want to start by mentioning that statement there from Sheriff Chris Nanos. He was very clear on social media yesterday saying that the Guthrie family and their spouses have really been helpful in all of this and that all of them have been cleared as suspects. How exactly does that work? How is the sheriff, how are investigators there able to clear them as suspects 100%?
It is a little unusual to publicly exclude someone or clear someone, Josh. But in this case, I think it does show the toll that all this is having on the family, and perhaps the sheriff felt that that would be the best way to handle this. But the investigation.
Nah, we're skipping you. We're skipping you. You're full of shit. You got too many tabs up here anyway. Let's try the next one, but we're going to get to some good stuff pretty soon here.
First, there's this. All members of the Guthrie family have now been cleared by the Pima County officials as possible suspects in this investigation in the disappearance of 84-year-old mother Nancy Guthrie, as the search now enters a third week. Daughter Savannah Guthrie released a new video over the weekend directly telling the potential kidnapper it's never too late to do the right thing. Investigators now waiting on a possible DNA breakthrough in the case as
get an
Nancy
almost hit or a near hit, which means a relative
persons of interest. But as you know, with any investigation, you are a person of interest until you're either eliminated or you're actually found to be the culprit or the culprits involved. And that's the stage we're at right now.
Kash Patel on potential persons of interest. I do believe we're looking at people who, as we say, are persons of interest. But as you know, with any investigation, you're a person of interest until you're either eliminated or you are actually found to be the culprit or culprits involved. And that's the stage we're in right now. So I'm guessing it's going to be Luke. Taterbug 28, good. Carmela Green, good to see you. 27. 27 is good. 7's my lucky number. So Kash Patel.
President Trump now threatening the death penalty for Guthrie's potential kidnapper if they do not return her unharmed, said the president. Joining me now is former NYPD inspector and Fox News contributor Paul Morrow, along with former FBI supervisory special agent and CEO of Glacier 21, Ren McEachern. Gentlemen, thanks very much for being here this morning. Paul, your reaction in terms of these new developments this morning. What's your takeaway?
Well, the family being cleared is, of course, significant, but let's just remember that somebody who's been cleared can always come back into the frame. But that said, it does seem like a pretty unequivocal statement. Maybe they know a little bit more about the potential perpetrators here from the DNA than we realize. We may not even have gotten to the CODIS stage yet, which reportedly we have not. That is the FBI database that would give you potentially the identification of the perpetrator, were they in the database. Just because if you analyze good DNA accurately, you can learn things like ethnicity, place of origin, eye color, a number of attributes. If they have that, then maybe they're in a position to clear various people that they already had on their radar screen. Right now, though, it seems to me like the most useful area of inquiry are these Walmart purchases, trying to synchronize and cross-reference all of these to see who bought this, when, maybe all at the same time.
I wish I had Mrs. Mab here right now, but she's working. She's working Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. It's 3 days this week.
And hopefully Walmart has those records.
Yeah. Ren, what do you think? How significant is this potential breakthrough with the DNA in this CODIS network?
Yeah, it is a big deal, Maria. However, I do want to manage expectations. Now, CODIS has around 26 million profiles, depending how you aggregate the different indexes. And it's only about a hit rate of 750,000 since the index has been in existence. So that hit rate's around only 3%. But to Paul's point, it does allow us to eliminate certain people. But the DNA I'm most interested in is the DNA they found in the house, not so much in the gloves. Those gloves, again, were found 2 miles away or not at the crime scene. But that DNA at the house.
What I'm interested in is what was in the back of that SUV, that Range Rover. That's where your evidence is, right there. Back of that Range Rover.
That is critical, 100%.
Well, why don't we know about that DNA yet? I mean, this is the 3rd week. We haven't checked the DNA in the house.
Well, here's the problem. And, the guiding principle investigation should be send the evidence to the place that's the most capability, the most efficient, and, the fastest way this stuff can be done. This is a kidnapping case. Every minute matters. I believe this DNA sample should have sent directly to the FBI lab in Quantico.
So they're saying so what they're saying is all the DNA should be sent to the FBI in Quantico, but the law says that you can't enter it into CODIS unless it's tested in the state in which the crime occurred. So that means they have to send it to Florida or Quantico and then back to Arizona to be retested before they can enter it into CODIS. I think that's... You caught Mab live, Hope Pool. Good to see you. So there's a law, I guess, that says it has to be tested in the state where the crime occurred to enter it into CODIS.
So that we could expedite every part of that process and get identification quickly.
Liz Peek, your thoughts?
I think it's astonishing that they didn't go to Quantico immediately. Obviously, as this gentleman just said, every second counts, and particularly when this woman has health issues, she needs medication, which apparently she doesn't have. I'm also shocked that no one has phoned in with some sort of lead when they saw the video of this fellow all rigged out in his Walmart costume. And isn't anyone out there aware that somebody is wearing this stuff, that bought it, etc.? I'm really kind of surprised that given what we have now seen in the way of the video, that no one has called in some tips.
There are 30,000 tips, idiot. Didn't you just hear that? They're purposely trying to screw this thing up. They want us to think all cops and FBI are stupid. I think they are.
What do you think, guys? Paul?
Yeah, I mean, it is surprising, especially after the Bureau doubled the reward, which is something that a lot of us were advocating for from the beginning. One of the things I hope they're doing is pursuing the reward, publicizing it, and publicizing the case south of the border. And this is why having the FBI involved is so important.
Yeah.
You can go through the legal attaché in Mexico City. You're only about an hour from the border there, and there are a lot of day workers and things like that who are going in and out. And so I do hope that that's being done as well. And as far as the DNA, I think one of the things we really should look for here is whether or not the DNA on this glove, which I have to say I have to manage expectations as well about that. The glove seems to me a long shot. But that said, if the glove DNA, which they reportedly recovered, matches DNA in the house, even if you don't get an
glove doesn't fit, you must acquit. Right? Sick of all these breaking news idiots. I want to hear Trump, what he said.
I did want to share this with you. This is from the New York Post, stating that Trump is telling the New York Post that he wants the death penalty for Nancy Guthrie's kidnappers if she isn't returned alive. And I did want to share a little bit more about that as we take a look at some file video. But this, according to the New York Post, President Trump saying that those responsible for kidnapping Nancy Guthrie must release her unharmed, or they will face the most severe federal penalties. That a glove containing DNA found a couple of miles from the Tucson, Arizona home of Nancy Guthrie.
Same crap. All right, glove retested. This is Pascal. Exactly, Peter Bug. What they're doing right now is they're looking for a stunt double. Like Hillary had, remember that stunt double of Hillary that came out after she passed out in New York? And she came out of her daughter's apartment, like waving and shit, like she was passed out, like all, like totally out of it, couldn't walk. And then she comes popping out of her daughter's house, all like a different person. She had like 4 or 5 of them, probably. Come on, man. You can't fake us out like that. We're not idiots. Why haven't we got a facility in Arizona and just sent it straight to them and then enter it into CODIS? Why we have to send it to Florida and then back to Arizona and to Quantico and back to later. Biden was like 6'4" one time for a while. Never started the rumor the intruders went to the wrong house. Reports say the next door neighbor is a gem collector and nobody brings gems home with them. Gem collector. Got the wrong house, robbed the wrong house, and there wasn't no gems, so they just stole the old lady. And I don't know. That doesn't sound right either. Right, sorry. Sorry I didn't share the stupid screen. Too much work, man, doing this crap.
No match, cabron. No match. The glow. No match. That's what they're saying right now. They've ran it through systems. They've ran it through databases. Came up with nothing. Bupkis. Male DNA, though. Black glove. But nothing. Now they got to take it after they did all that. Because that was two days? Wait, 2-3 days? Something like that? Where they send it over to Florida? Now that damn thing needs to get on a plane and fly all the way back over to Arizona so that they can retest this stuff again. Yeah, bupkis. Zippity doodah. Nothing. Not a damn ting do. Not a damn ting. Let's take a look at this. Crazy. Okay? Like, I get it. We all want her to be found, but at this point, what Nano said, where he said it could be years, he might be right, which is insane. Remember? Could be hours, could be weeks, could be months, could be years till we find her. You never know, right? Now I'm starting to think, like, if it keeps moving in this type of pattern, in this type of way, oh, we're screwed. We are screwed.
We are screwed. Oh, James, it's tough. I wish Mrs. Mab was here. I get all the viewers when she's on the panel. When my ugly ass up here and nobody watches.
You know, this investigation is screwed. And the Guthrie family is screwed. So let's take a look at this. Okay. First off, in the update, the sheriff has announced there's no DNA hit from CODIS. Okay. The glove authorities found 2 miles away from Nancy Guthrie's home has been tested, DNA tested in Florida. But there's still another step before the DNA profile can be entered into the CODIS system, sources with direct knowledge. So under federal law, okay, breaking news.
Whoops.
We're going to look at a bunch of retested back in Arizona. I know it's the result now. Let's be real. I'm assuming that the privately owned facility that we are screwed. You know, this investigation is screwed.
Oh, cool. I've been watching Daley for almost 5 years.
And the Guthrie family is screwed.
That guy last night was driving me nuts. Sandy or whatever the hell his name was, the gun guy. I'm former LE, and he wouldn't shut his damn mouth. Finally, I was at it. I was like, I'm out. It's the Sandy show, Sandy Vision.
So let's take a look at this. Okay. First off, in the update, the sheriff has announced there's no DNA hit from CODIS. Okay. The glove authorities found 2 miles away from Nancy Guthrie's home has been tested, DNA tested in Florida. But there's still another step before the DNA profile can be.
You guys catch that guy Sandy last night? I was like, would you shut the hell up? Hey, Nina. How are you doing, sweetie? Oh, yeah, we did. I started watching when I got my face cut off. It's still not healed, and that was freaking a long time ago. I will. She's going to be home in a couple hours.
Entered into the CODIS system, sources with direct knowledge. So under federal law, okay, so again, they ran it in their own CODIS system, all right? Now the feds have to put it into their own CODIS system, but they can't put it into that CODIS system until it is tested in the state where it was found. So in this case, Arizona. Remember, Glove is in Florida right now. Let me repeat that again. Glove is in Florida. And here's the other thing. And maybe this is a dumb question. Probably is going to be a dumb question because I already know somebody would be like, yeah, that's dumb, Pascal. If you were only FBI, you would know standard procedure, you dumbass. Let me say something really quick. Okay. I'm just a guy on a microphone and I got questions. But let me ask this really quick. Okay. Before y'all come out with all the hate and shade. Let me just say this. So when it comes to the FBI, why couldn't they have just given the glove to the FBI in the first damn place and let them run it in Arizona and just cut out all this middleman rigmarole that we're looking at? You see all the hoops that we're jumping through? Do you see how many hoops that this glove is jumping through? Is anybody else seeing what I'm seeing?
The glove gate.
Couldn't the FBI just been like, wait a second, you know what?
I always wanted to go skydiving, but I was over the 250 pound.
What the hell was that? Oh, that's his thing.
Limit. My husband would take the kids.
Really want me to lose weight. Wow.
That was on his end.
Really bad. Wow. What is TMZ trying to tell me? I didn't press anything.
Brooks.
I didn't press anything.
You mean the guy that was the guy Brooks? He'd been in this garage having a few drinks. You mean Garth Brooks? No. I remember a Brooks something. I can't recall. Was that some guy that was connected to the lab or something.
But here it is. Would it be a situation where the FBI said they're going like, hey, let's just cut out all the red tape crap, all the hoops we got to jump through. We'll just test it here in Arizona. We'll cut out all that middle stuff just in case, because we're both working this together. And I would assume, I would think that the same system that has all the, maybe, I don't know.
I was watching a Dogman show where the guy reads stories about encounters with Dogman, and Girth was in that chat. And every Saturday night, he goes in that chat, Girth Brooks. And I saw him in there. I'm like, what are you doing in here, man? Looking at Dogman emails.
What the FBI has in their CODIS system, you'd think that that system can work, or works for both departments, right?
Reverend Shyster? What Reverend? I can't remember.
Right? So now they're going to take that glove, which I don't think has anything to do with this at all. I really don't. They're going to take it back to Arizona, and they're going to run tests on that doggone glove again. So we're all sitting around at the edge of our seats as they're sitting there twiddling their thumbs, waiting for the microwave timer to go off. Do you see what I'm saying? When we should have already been out here trying to find her, or going after bigger leads than this. You know what I mean? I don't know what the hell's going on with this. It's on crack. Shut up. But you get what I'm saying, though, right? Pretty frustrating stuff. So our sources say the glove has already been sent back to Arizona. Okay, great. As for why the Pima County Sheriff decided to take that glove, which I don't think has anything to do with this at all. I really don't.
Really?
They're going to take it back to Arizona, and they're going to run tests on that doggone glove again. So we're all sitting around at the edge of our seats as they're sitting there twiddling their thumbs, waiting for the microwave timer to go off. Do you see what I'm saying? When we should have already been out here trying to find her, or going after bigger leads than this. You know what I mean? I don't know what the hell is going on with this. It's on crack. Shut up. But you get what I'm saying, though, right? Pretty frustrating stuff. So our sources say the glove has...
that was good. Is it on the disappearance of Sebastian, or at least knowing something and not doing anything to the perps? Michaela and him are done. Is Michaela somebody, Pascal having an old lady? I don't know. Is that true, Nina? Got no ID.
Already been sent back to Arizona. Okay, great. As for why the Pima County Sheriff decided to send the glove to Florida in the first place, knowing the glove would have to be retested
in the CODIS system, the glove has to be tested.
Guthrie. I find that to be very interesting. I'll be honest, disheartening. Disheartening is all get out. This is not what we want to hear.
It's
T-Rev and his freaking hat's too big, and his boobs got man boobs and everything else going on. No teeth. Damn. Poor T-Rev. He's hustling DoorDash now, I reckon. Yeah. Smoke friend. Taterbug. Oh, Lord.
It is not what we want to hear. Not right now. But
not right now.
Listen to Harvey.
Harvey.
From TMZ.
We have some developments in the Nancy Guthrie kidnapping case. First of all, the testing of that glove, the DNA testing in Florida, is complete. Now, that doesn't answer the questions about whose DNA is it and are they connected to this kidnapping? Because under federal law, the glove has to be tested in the state where the glove is found. That is the requirement that the FBI has before they can put it in the CODIS system. CODIS is Combined DNA Intake System. That has 27 million DNA profiles. And in order to check out the DNA in that system, in the CODIS system, the glove has to be tested in the state where it was found, and that is Arizona. That glove, we're told, is in Arizona right now. This is called.
Harvey's probably a damn, what are you, reptilian? He's a reptilian shapeshifter. You can tell by his arms, I think. Looks like he works out, but he doesn't. It's that shape-shifting muscle mass on the arms. I think that's what's going on here.
A PCR test.
Right. Pascal, you know what I'm saying? Can you picking up what I'm laying down on you?
It's the most sophisticated DNA test. It's the gold standard. Usually takes just a day to get the results. We are told that in the next 24 hours, once that glove is tested and the results are in, that profile will go into the.
Probably taking, snorting some of the philosopher's stone. You know, you crush that shit up and snort it, and you get young again. And then, you know, you got to snort some more when you start getting gray, right?
CODIS system. So that should be resolved within 24 hours and maybe sooner. Now, we are also told, and
I'm going to run to the bathroom. You guys got to listen to Harvey while I'm gone.
I think this is really interesting, that the glove that was tested is not the glove that the New York Post found. It is a different glove.
Okay, and it's great that we understand more clarity about the glove not being the glove that the New York Post took a photograph of and all that. But at the same time, damn, it doesn't make a difference. It doesn't change anything, because at the end of the day, they found 16 plus gloves strewn about in the area. A lot of them were from people, investigators that were out there combing the area, trying to find any clues for Nancy. They zeroed this down. They find one glove, one black glove that has male DNA that is not matched to any of these investigators involved in this case. And then there's a power struggle. There's a power struggle on who is actually going to lead in, having their department do the DNA results, the DNA testings. Right? There's a full-on argument between that, or, there's a tug of war, if you will. And I already know Nanos was like, no, it's not like that. It's not like that. We're all working together. Everything's good. Everything's Gucci. We're doing just fine, right? Us and FBI are working together in sweet harmony. That's not true. That's not true. Because if this was a situation where you had everything going in a very wonderfully copacetic way, you would have had no problem going over there and saying, hey, you know what? Yeah, actually, you guys are the FBI. Yeah, run that ish. Run that. Go ahead. Go ahead, run that real quick. You got faster technology than us. Go ahead, run that ish. Go ahead. And they didn't. They ended up sending it all the way out to You see what I'm saying? I don't understand all this backwards, this whole way of working here. I got a massive problem with it. It's so strange, right? It is so strange. Sorry, but something is just not right. And how they're doing everything is so backwards.
So up to this point, everybody, and really us included, we assumed that was the glove. We are now told by people connected to this, it is not the glove. It is a different glove that authorities.
Oh my God. Reptilian adrenochrome shot. Yeah, I think it has those syringe full of adrenochrome, right? So at lunchtime, mainlines that shit. And it comes out all pumped and ripped and looking like he's in his 40s, right? He's really 80. Why can't I make him like even? What if I do that? Huh? Now it looks weird, worse. What the fuck? Check your internet speed. Come on, man. I don't want that shit on my...
These found 2 miles from Nancy's house.
Again, I'm sorry, no disrespect to Harvey. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, Melody. You are not the father. And, you know, dudes dancing up on the stage doing backflips and everything. I told you, right? Maury Povich.
Hi, Matt.
He's still doing that same gig, by the way. Random, right? But when it comes to this whole, it's not the same. It doesn't matter. At this point, it doesn't matter. Okay? At some point, we're going to find out that this is not connected in any way, shape, or form to anything.
That's right.
Wait for it. Yes, it's male DNA, but it may not be connected to anybody at all. And also, who says, here's the other thing.
Probably a dog. It's connected to the dog. The dog was male and it pissed on the freaking bush. And the glove hit the bush and the bush hit the glove. And now you got some DNA of a dog. It's the neighbor's pit bull. That's what you got. Did Harvey work on the People's Court? I don't know.
If it is even remotely possible that this glove is connected, and that means that this person's not done any crimes. Put that in your bonnet. Put that bee in your bonnet for a second. You see what I'm saying? Put that in your bee. Put that bee in your bonnet. Put that, whatever. Put that bee in your bonnet.
Bonnet.
Okay? For 2 seconds. And think about it. That means that person's never done a crime. Which would make sense because if what we're seeing how that guy's operating,
that they have already checked out the holster to see who has bought a similar holster in that area. And the names that were given to the gun shops are people who actually bought that type of holster. And it's not like those people are all people of interest, but what they want to find is, you know, did somebody both buy a holster like that and buy a gun like that? And then all of a sudden, they're going to be real interested in that person.
Why would they buy a holster like that if the gun doesn't match the holster? When I bought my holster, I bought it for a 45 ACP 1911. That's what kind of a weapon I got. Why would I buy a freaking revolver holster that clips on the front of your pee-pee? Don't make no damn sense. Come on, man. What the hell is going on here?
So that is why the FBI is checking out gun shops in that area. Final thing I want to say.
Final thing.
That the man
promise. You promise. It's just final thing you're gonna say. Better hold you to it, bruh. Sit, please. Why does YouTube screw up everybody's names? Crit. How do you say your name? Jesse. I'll just call you Jesse. And Trudy. Number 38. Good to see you guys. Welcome in.
Man who has been sending us emails demanding, demanding money in return for information leading to the identity of the kidnapper.
okay, and we already know all that crap. Okay, we don't need to. we don't need to hear all about that. I swear to God, there ain't enough beet juice in this life.
The DNA that was submitted to CODIS was from a set of gloves found 2 miles away. It did not trigger a match in CODIS and did not match the DNA found on the property. The DNA at the property is being analyzed and further testing needs to be done as part of the investigation. Yeah, that's Sheriff Nanos for you. Yeah. 40 names that bought 40 holsters, that bought 40 guns that don't match the 40 holsters. So you got 40 idiots running around out there that have 40 guns that don't fit in 40 holsters. That's what I'm getting out of this mess. A bunch of dumbasses. All right.
Wait. False alarm. I want to see what he's doing.
To JLR out there.
Right here between. Awesome. Thanks. What do you guys look like first? Oh, okay.
All right, I'm done with you, buddy.
Don't worry, I'll rewind it if I have to. Let's take a look at this. This is an interview with the sheriff.
You believe it was a burglary gone wrong? Is that what you're saying?
I believe it was a kidnapping.
Really?
All new at 2, Fox News going one-on-one with the Pima County Sheriff Chris Nanos as the search for Nancy Guthrie intensifies and investigators zero in on leads. Welcome to a brand new hour of America.
If we're the dumbasses and they're the dumbasses, then we got a whole country full of dumbasses. You're number 40, Cassie. That means you might be one of those people with bought them holsters with the guns that don't match, making you a dumbass. But you're probably not a dumbass. You're probably just fine. I'm not saying you're a dumbass, Cassie. I'm just getting sick of all these dumbasses out here. There's too many of them. Too many dumbasses. Wow, I had to take a drink. Too many dumbasses out there. There's a white van out there. White van. There's a white van. Yes, I do always say hi to you, Cassie. I do. I like saying Cassie Christensen because I already have you programmed in. All I can do is hit C and it goes Cassie, and then I hit C again and it goes Christensen, and then it just bam. That's why it's so fast. So I got learned on my iPad.
Reports. I'm John Roberts. Thank you for filling in this week.
You are most welcome, John. The bill will come later in the.
He needs some of that adrenochrome, Taterbug. He needs a couple shots of that adrenochrome so he could get some hair color back. Looks like the mail lady's here, or the mailman, or whoever the hell it is. There's a guy putting his trash cans in his SUV right in front of the mail lady. It's in front of my mailbox. Don't take the candy or fishing equipment from the white van, Mab. Then we would be covering your case. All right, the white van is gone. I'm safe. I better go get strapped up. Somebody might come out and get me. Like Sanford and Son, Lamont. Yeah.
The week, so look out for that in the mail. It's great to be with you.
The check will be in the mail.
No, thank you. I look forward to receiving it. I'm Jillian Turner in for Sandra today. So this interview now with all these breaking developments come as the sheriff has also been saying that the entire Guthrie family is cleared from this investigation. They are not suspects. We're also getting new details on investigators working directly with Walmart, trying to trace the exact items that the suspect was seen wearing on camera. Let's get straight to Chief Correspondent Jonathan Hunt now, who just sat down with the sheriff for this exclusive interview. Jonathan, lay it out for us. What did you learn?
What do you got?
Sorry, I need to pause that really quick.
Come on.
Why did they have to do that guy dirty like that? Look at this photo. Look at him over here on the far right of the screen. They're like, we had an interview with Sheriff Nanos, and that's the photo that they chose to use. Come on, man.
Come on, man. Come on, man.
Come on, man.
Come on, man.
That's not a moving pic. Like that ain't a video. That's just the thumbnail they decided to use.
Hit the damn play button
of Sheriff Nanos. Come on.
Don't make me do it. I'll cut your ass off.
Come on.
I ain't playing.
Jonathan Hunt now, who just sat
that is
down
shady as hell.
with the
They
sheriff
doing
for
him
this
dirty.
Interview. Jonathan, lay it out for us.
You know, don't pet that dog either. You get bit right in the face. Oh my God. Oh Lord. That poor little guy, my baby Mab's significant other, got bit in the face by a damn pit bull. Hey Shauna. What's up? Good to see you, sweetie. Oh, Lord.
What did you learn?
Hamburger.
Run out to the white van, ask if I can pay your dog.
A lot of breaking news.
A lot of breaking news today.
Out of this interview.
Interview with Sheriff Nanos.
Gillian and John. The sheriff had just come from the latest briefing on this investigation.
Why do these people have to talk like this when they're doing an interview? He just came from the latest meeting.
And I asked him first of all about the glove that we've all heard about, the glove that on which they had found DNA, which was being tested and was going to then be entered into the FBI's CODIS system, which is the national tracking system for DNA that they might have from people who have committed crimes in the past.
Where's your neck of the woods? I'm from Indiana, originally.
Answer to that, not good news for the investigation. Listen here to the sheriff.
The DNA on the glove that was found 2 miles away was submitted for CODIS, and I just heard that CODIS had no hits.
No hits on the DNA found in the glove.
Correct.
So you are no closer to a suspect as a result of the DNA test, at least.
As a result of CODIS.
Now, remember also, we broke the news last Friday that they had tested also DNA that was found inside Nancy Guthrie's house that they believed was stranger DNA. Well, the sheriff also told us no CODIS hit on that DNA.
What about the DNA from the damn Range Rover? I want the DNA from the Range Rover. That is going to have our perp on it.
Either. Then I talked to him about this reporting that has been out there, not repeated by us, that this was a burglary gone wrong. The sheriff said it was not. Listen again to the sheriff.
You just said your briefings, you believe it's a kidnapping.
I believe it was kidnapping.
Targeted kidnapping.
Yes, I believe whoever did that knew what they were up to.
So do you believe
knew who they were after?
Targeted kidnapping. I could have told you that from the beginning.
So we also talked to the sheriff about these reports of the FBI going to gun stores. They have indeed been going to gun stores, but there was a report out there that they had narrowed it down essentially to 40 suspects. They were
only 40
asking about and showing pictures of.
Asking about the 40? Have you had a 40 ouncer?
Here's the sheriff's response to that.
Yeah.
Tell me this if you can, Sheriff.
Lost out here in the damn California.
Is everybody in Tucson still a suspect, or have you narrowed it down to say, a
Everybody
few
in
dozen people? We've heard, for instance, the FBI is asking about 40 people at gun stores.
That's not true.
Okay.
Why did I feel like he was about to be like, I have one question. Is everyone in Tucson a dumbass? Like I was just waiting for him to say something like that. Oh my word.
So you have
No, everybody on YouTube is a dumbass. My cousin and her husband live in Dana Point. How's that? Sean, I'm in Nashville. You in Nashville? Nashville, Tennessee. Well, I'll be damned.
Have you narrowed it down to a few dozen, or are we?
We haven't narrowed it down to anything other than we have certain pieces of evidence that we're looking at to try to find this individual, whether it be DNA, whether it be that ring camera video, whether it be evidence at a Walmart that might lead us to somebody.
What about the damn Range Rover, you idiot?
Couple of other important points from this wide-ranging interview, John and Gillian. I asked the sheriff
Wide-ranging interview.
if there are any indications at all
Oh,
that Nancy
yeah.
Guthrie may have been taken across the border into Mexico, just about 65 miles or so south of us here.
Oh,
He said
Lord.
no indications of that. He said he believes the FBI has been checking that, but no indications of that at this point. And I followed up with him on the news.
Indy Moon, your boxer's name. 65 from Indiana. I'm a Hoosier. Fountain Square. My uncle owned all the buildings in Fountain Square, and he gentrified, what do you call it, gentrification of Fountain Square back in the day. The bowling alley and all that. That was my uncle. He made millions with the first supercuts type of thing. It was called professional hair care or something like that.
That he put out a statement about yesterday, the clearing the Guthrie family, their siblings and spouses. He said to me, 100% they are victims, not connected. So a lot of news, but the bad news in terms of the investigation, that DNA, neither the DNA in the house or the DNA on the glove coming back with a hit on the FBI's national database. I hate to use the phrase back to square one, John and Gillian, but if we are talking about the squares that have been moved forward, we're certainly in the low single digits in terms.
I'm talking about square one, 40 miles north of Nashville near the Kentucky border. My mom used to live in Evansville near the northern Kentucky border. You're out. This one, I like this one. This one here. Let me share this screen, yeah. All right. Number 156. Share. My uncle was Linton Calvert. Linton Calvert. Bowling alley. Yes, Linton Calvert, who started the professional hair care franchise of hair care places, kind of like Supercuts. But it was back in the day. He was like the first one to do it. He used to have a gas station, and then he was a bowler. He bowled and he'd bet. He always gambled bowling, and he was a really good bowler. He'd bowl like 300. And he won all this money from bowling, and then he started the hair care business and became a millionaire, multimillionaire. And then he bought up the buildings in Fountain Square and in Indianapolis, and kind of redid that whole area. Linton Calvert is his name. I think he's still alive. It was my aunt's ex-husband, so that makes it my uncle. I met him like twice. Last time I met him, I was in Indiana on the top of some building, and he had his like apartment on the top of the building in Fountain Square, and he's out there with a big cigar smoking it. And my cousin Angel Calvert lives in Indianapolis, and her daughter is named Salathia Calvert. She's half black and half white. Beautiful young lady. She came out here, and we let her stay here while she was going to some woo-woo retreat down in Big Sur. You're headed to Anderson for a bowling tournament. It's hard to talk after a while on a live stream. I start stumbling because my face is like all numb. It's like trying to talk when you just came out of the dentist and they get your whole fucking face is numb. That's how it is.
We beg you now to return our mother to us so that we can celebrate with her. This is the only way we will have peace. This is very valuable to us, and we will pay.
Moments ago, sheriff's deputies cleared the street in front of Nancy Guthrie's home, telling me that detectives were returning to search the property. What they are looking for at this hour is unclear.
What's not being reported right now is the fact that Savannah Guthrie is in the Epstein files. And what's also not being reported is the fact that she was the first mainstream TV journalist to interview a survivor of Epstein.
From day one, the disappearance of Savannah Guthrie's mom, Nancy, has felt off. But now, it's taken a seriously weird and creepy turn. Receipts have surfaced showing both Savannah and her husband, Michael Feldman's company, are named in the recently released JE files. Besides that, Savannah was also the first major U.S. journalist to interview the Epstein accusers in 2019.
Ruh-roh! Now we got a motive.
However, that interview still hasn't been released in full, and now Savannah is searching for her elderly mother, who was kidnapped in the middle of the night from her own home in Catalina Foothills, Arizona. And this happened just days after the most recent files dump. And now, after days of no leads and 2 video messages from the Guthrie family addressing the kidnappers, the FBI finally released surveillance footage showing an armed person near the property that night. However, they still haven't officially identified any suspects. But it gets weirder. After that footage was released, the feds detained an innocent Arizona delivery driver without even telling him why he was being detained. This poor man was later released with no charges, and this only makes the whole case look even more suspicious, because at this point, it really feels like the feds are rushing to pin this on anyone.
Are you shocked? Yeah, I was. Tell me. Come on, they helped me against my will. They didn't read me my rights until 2 hours later.
They held him because they kidnapped him. He was kidnapped. My God. They kidnapped this poor Mexican dude.
Okay. You know what I mean? My wrist is all swollen. From the handcuffs. Like,
and did you have any idea
No.
that this was about him?
No.
Do you know who Nancy Guthrie
No.
is?
That's the problem.
No.
I don't know anything.
You were like,
I don't know anything about that lady. Damn it. I'm suing your ass. I want $20 million. Right now. I want your whole budget for the whole year. I don't care about you spend $1 million on that fake SWAT raid. I want your money. I want all of it.
this is coming from?
How did they come up on you?
I don't know.
Like, what, were you just driving around?
Yeah. Working.
Yeah, they said you were delivering DoorDash?
Yeah, it is.
Oh,
How'd they pull up on you?
Tell me that doesn't raise red flags. And a lot of people following this case have noticed something feels off about the way authorities are handling it. The energy is weird. The updates are contradictory, and everyone involved looks like they're reading off a script.
And if so, do you believe that is local in the Tucson area or that she's been taken somewhere much further at this point?
I don't, you know. We're just not going to give up hope. We hope she's out there somewhere.
So you still believe this is an active rescue mission at this point?
We hope so.
And get this, after initial processing, law enforcement removed crime scene tape, allowing journalists and others to access Nancy's property.
They're in the septic tank out here too, looking for gloves. I'd hate to be doing that DNA. Everybody who took a shit in that house would have DNA in that damn tank. They'd be doing DNA forever on that thing.
This means the crime scene was contaminated with additional DNA, fingerprints, and footprints, complicating the case even more.
And DNA in that septic tank. One more thing before I go. What if people that bought the gun stole somebody's identity and went on a shopping spree, or they did as all criminals do and got it from the streets? Yeah, so many questions. You're leaving? You're leaving to cook your venison roast, and you ain't sharing none with us? Come on, man. That ain't no fair.
It's literally unlawful for reporters to cross police tape to access the scene of a crime, even if they are accredited members of the news media. All it would take is tape to secure Nancy Guthrie's house, and yet the Pima County Sheriff couldn't even do that. So, is it just incompetence or something else? Well, theories
It's something else.
are flying everywhere. And while some people think it could have been an inside job involving someone close to the Guthrie family, others are saying this whole thing feels like a psyop and a distraction from something bigger. And now that this Epstein connection is in the mix, that adds a whole new layer. And the more you start looking at all the connections, the family ties, who they've worked for, the timing of Nancy's disappearance, the more it feels like this could be deeper than anyone realized.
This was Virginia Giuffre and 6 women in total that sat down with Savannah Guthrie. Her mom was just kidnapped a couple days ago, and they took this video off of all of their networks.
Good job, Mr. Michigan. You get on, boy. Get your mama.
Mind you, mainstream media hasn't reported on this at all, but Savannah is personally...
Hey, that kind of looks like something I got. Looky what I got. Uh-oh, it's an Epstein file. Mab got an Epstein file. It says, from Black, New York, FBI, Black, to Black, 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 New York, FBI, Black, Black, Black. Subject forward, Black. Below is a list of those we know of that were interviewed for Dateline. Black, 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 and Black. And one woman unknown. On September 18, 2019 at 9:07 a.m., Black, and Black wrote from Black, sent Wednesday, September 8th, 2019 at 11:25 a.m. to Black, New York, and FBI, Black, Black, and Black, to Black and Black, subject Black. What the hell? We want unredacted damn Epstein files. Just wanted to give you a heads up. She's done another interview with Savannah Guthrie. In it, she said the following. She was interviewed by the FBI in 2011 by Black. In the interview, she gave names of all the girls she helped traffic. She was also interviewed by Sydney. No time frame. 3. 2 other women also tell the DOJ that Epstein specifically trafficked them to other men. And 4, there are cameras in the New York house and others where he could watch people in the bathrooms and elsewhere. They plan to air it on today's show and this Friday's Dateline. That's it. It's black. The rest of it's black. Blank and black. I lost it. Oh, there it is. All right. Oh, I was doing this, and then it got to the black email. There it was, right there. Whoa, 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 whoa. Got to redo this whole deal too now. Share screen, bam. Why can't we have like a bunch of screens you can just pop on and just click it and it would come up? Why do you have to close it and open it and do all that bullshit? Somebody needs to invent a better StreamYard or whatever it is.
Virginia Giuffre. On September 18, 2019, someone, whose name is redacted in the files, emailed Epstein to give him a heads up about Savannah's interview, and they even listed all the victims who were going to be interviewed by her. The interview aired on Dateline NBC on September 20, 2019, and it revealed never-before-heard details of crimes. Virginia even named Prince Andrew and described what happened in his London townhouse, Epstein's New York mansion, and on his private island.
It happened the first time in London. I was so young. Keelan woke me up in the morning and said, "You're going to meet a prince today." I didn't.
How did she say her name? Ghislaine?
And said, "You're going to meet a prince today."
House, Epstein's New York mansion, and on his private island.
It happened the first time in London. I was so young. Keelan woke me up in the morning and said, "You're going to meet a prince today."
Ghislaine. You have? Good.
I didn't know at that point that I was going to be tricked to that prince.
And this was also the first time other survivors went public, sharing their experiences.
Wow.
And this was also the first time other survivors went public, sharing
6 of them.
their experience.
I guess they scrubbed those interviews off the Ghislaine Maxwell, who has a body double now.
Experiences and explaining how Epstein's whole operation worked.
I feel let down, that he was able to commit suicide. Yeah, it was really upsetting. They failed us before. Don't fail us again. Exactly.
But here's the weird part. There is still no full public version of Savannah's 2019 interview anywhere online. You can only find short clips, and everything in those clips is the stuff that was legally cleared and considered safe to air by NBC News. But this is where it gets deeper. Savannah's husband, Michael Feldman, also shows up in the files. Not directly by name, but through his company. And Feldman isn't just some random businessman. He was deeply involved with the Democratic
Look at them.
Party for years. He worked as a political aide during the Clinton era, served as a
Vice President Al Gore, Chief of Staff, 2000 presidential election, 25 years ago. Founding partner. I had just bought this house when that was going on.
senior advisor and traveling chief of staff for Vice President Al Gore, and acted as a main liaison to Congress. Feldman also worked on Bill Clinton's 1992 presidential campaign and served in the Senate Democratic Policy Committee. Later, he co-founded the crisis management firm, the Glover Park Group, and that's the company that's...
There's the glove. The Glover Park Group. That's where the gloves are. You need to test that Glover.
actually named in the files as a recommended contact. In one 2015...
This looks like Feldman right here. Where my cursor is, the guy in the middle. Epstein, they're all on this damn plane or something.
email involving the disgraced former president of Harvard, Larry Summers. Epstein is told to talk to someone at Glover Park with the note that the firm had helped Bill Clinton and General Petraeus. And here's the part that really makes people suspicious. The Glover Park Group's website was reportedly taken down just days after Savannah's mom disappeared.
Really? Took down the whole website. Well, guess what? There's a thing called a Wayback Machine. Hey, Victoria. Good to see you, darling. How are you?
But the rabbit hole goes even deeper than that. Michael Feldman is also a founding partner of FGS Global, a huge international communications and consulting firm. And get this, he works there with Greg Rothschild.
Savannah's husband works for the Rothschilds, or with the Rothschilds.
A partner at FGS. Now, this might have slipped under the radar because the mainstream media won't talk about it. But there's one email from Epstein where he literally
Peter Thiel
spells out what powerful family he represents.
And Jeffrey Epstein, who worked on behalf of the Rothschilds, according to him, wrote that in an email, the Rothschilds who credit themselves with having created which nation state? Oh, right, Israel.
People online aren't just questioning the case anymore. They're flat out saying something smells rotten. And the timing? Come on. Nancy disappears right when 3 million documents drop? That's one very interesting coincidence.
See? It's all starting to make sense. It's all starting to make sense now.
Especially now that we know Savannah's name shows up in those files. And so does her husband's company, the same husband who spent years working for the Clintons. Now, this could be another coincidence.
Hillary!
But the Clintons are actually scheduled to testify about Epstein in front of the House Oversight Committee later this month. So is all of this just random? Well, that's for each one of you to decide. These could really all be strange coincidences. And maybe Nancy Guthrie's disappearance has nothing to do with the case at all. But if you've actually read through the files, you know we can't rule anything out anymore. The elite have already proven they're capable of the most shocking stuff. And some of the wildest conspiracy theories were backed up by those documents. So at this point, anything is possible. And judging by the reactions on social media, more and more people are starting to dig into this Epstein connection. And whether it's true or not, the point is, people are not buying the official story. Someone commented, a psyop to scare the hell out of everyone so when they roll out the next phase of the NWO, folks will be willing to take the chip so that if you are kidnapped, we can find you. But I also agree that it can tie to Epstein files and a big warning/threat to reporters to zip it up, or else. And
Damn.
another user
Daley's on his way back there again? Holy shit.
took it even further, saying, anytime there's a crime that makes major media headlines and gets a lot of attention, it's a government psyop. All the school shootings, the Charlie Kirk celebrities who suddenly die when they're young and healthy, it's all part of an occult agenda. But
uh-oh, I think we hit the nail on the head, Taterbug.
what do you think is really happening here? Do you believe Nancy Guthrie's disappearance could be tied to the Epstein case? Or is this just a weird coincidence? And if it's really a psyop, like some people claim, who do you think stands to gain most from all this? Drop all your theories in the comments below, and stay tuned for the next video.
Wow. All right, then. All righty then. That was trippy. I was going to play Jennifer Koffendorfer, but I want to play something else real quick first. Let me look at my history. Well, hold on. I'll just call this up. Hold on a second. I'm going to get something. Then oh, we're not doing that. It's an hour and 20 minutes. Hold on. Here we go, right here. Got to look at this, and I'm going to show you some other things, and then it'll tie everything together. Okay, hello, Kathy Pentecost. Good to see you. Come on in. Come on in, guys. Come on in. Come on in. Here we go. Let's share the screen. Number 161.
Yeah, baby. What's up, guys? Spenny. In the year 2008, Jeffrey Epstein pled guilty to being a child predator and was put in federal prison. He should have remained there if we actually had a justice system at all in this country. But nonetheless, after that, you'd assume that polite society and very powerful people in our government would stay away from Jeffrey Epstein. These are the kind of things that you don't really come back from. Yet in 2010, at the marriage of his only daughter, Bill Clinton had in a place of honor Ghislaine Maxwell.
Hey, T-Niece. Good to see you. Spirit fingers, yeah. Spirit fingers.
Ghislaine Maxwell, who the original Epstein whistleblower, Virginia Roberts, says is the architect of the entire operation. What is that operation? Well, Ghislaine Maxwell's father was an Israeli spy, did arms deals throughout the world. I think you get the point. Ghislaine Maxwell also had a front row seat. She was ubiquitous at these things. It's far more likely that you see Ghislaine Maxwell in these photos than you see Jeffrey Epstein even. Like photos like this, where Bill Clinton is swimming, she's wearing a bikini, and a Jeffrey Epstein,
some other young chick
victim, our underage girl, no telling here, because she has the black box over her face. She's also wearing a bikini, but that bikini has fallen off in this next photo.
Oh no!
Of Bill.
It's Bill Clinton and a naked girl. Cooking with Mr. Good Looking. What's up, Alex? What is up, brother?
Clinton in a hot tub with the underage girl, trafficked girl. No telling, actually. But Ghislaine Maxwell could tell us everything about what was going on. She, of course, had a hands-on operation here, so much so that she was even trafficking women to the royal family, right? Here's Prince Andrew. This is Virginia Roberts, by the way.
Poor Virginia Roberts, or Virginia Dufresne, one of the girls, got hit by a bus in Australia out of the blue. She got taken out, in other words.
Who says that Jeffrey Epstein was kind of dumb and that Ghislaine Maxwell was clearly the brains of the operation.
Her dad was kind of high up in the Secret Service of Israel.
We all know what Ghislaine Maxwell looks like. We've seen her in so many different photos. Obviously, you can see her all over the world. Some of these photos are quite famous. Here she is with her Israeli spy dad.
There she is with her daddy. And he was a spy. Like daughter, like daddy.
So, what's going on with Ghislaine Maxwell? Recently, Ghislaine Maxwell has been in the news. Here's why. You can see some footage in the Epstein files of Ghislaine in prison. She's sort of putzing and doddering around. And, well, people are saying that it just looks like a pretty miserable life here, right? But what they're also noticing is that in a video, newly released video from prison, sure as hell looks like something has happened to Ghislaine Maxwell. Let's investigate. Ghislaine Maxwell pleads the fifth, but says she'll speak fully and honestly if Trump grants her clemency. She wants to get out of jail. She's going to serve the next 20 odd years in prison. She'll be out as a very old lady. And she released a video saying effectively she pleads the fifth with the new congressional hearing they have on Epstein. They subpoenaed her. They asked her to come in. This is a cabin that belongs to the Queen on the Queen's land. Isn't that something? And here was Ghislaine Maxwell effectively saying, I'm not going to tell you anything.
Ms. Maxwell, were you a close friend and confidant of Jeffrey Epstein?
I would like.
Anybody notice anything weird? Anybody notice anything different about this version of Ghislaine Maxwell?
I'd like to answer your question, but on the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer this question and any related questions.
She sounds like she's from a different country.
My habeas petition is pending in the Southern District of New York.
Okay.
I therefore invoke my right to silence under the Fifth Amendment to the U.S. Constitution.
Okay.
Let the record reflect that Ms. Maxwell has invoked the Fifth Amendment against self-incrimination. Ms. Maxwell, please be very clear. Are you declining to answer the question put to you solely on the ground that you believe the answer will incriminate you?
I invoke my Fifth Amendment right to silence.
Ms. Maxwell, did you at any time play any role in Jeffrey Epstein's activities involving
Sorry about that, guys. My phone going off.
in the recruitment, grooming, or trafficking of young women or girls?
I invoke my Fifth Amendment right to silence.
So it goes back and it goes like that for the next couple of minutes. You can see here, this is the official video. This is the video that was posted by the GOP oversight. People are noticing something very odd, however, about this video. That, well, I mean, listen, she has been in prison for quite a while, but people are noticing that it doesn't really look like Ghislaine Maxwell. Using AI analysis for facial recognition, these two images are not the same person. Clear that two different individuals. Pay attention. The ears and nasal features. Oh.
They swapped her out! Sons of bitches!
Oh my.
That's not the same person! She's free! She's with Jeffrey. Back on the damn island. Hold on, it's my sister. Hello. Hey, I'm online, or I'm on a live stream right now. Can I call you back?
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, Mr. Mabs getting calls about the yin yang here.
Did they do a swap? They replaced her with an Iranian lesbian.
They replaced her with an Iranian lesbian. Look at that. Dude.
Yeah.
Does that look like the same woman to you guys? Let's see what the chat says. I had it blown up so you guys could see closer. Yeah, right. Oh, Lord. Alba, I'm doing well. Good to see you. We're busting open the Savannah Guthrie case right here. This lady right here looks like a white dude with a wig. That looks like Ghislaine Maxwell right here. I don't know who this is. Who's in jail in her place?
Carbs in prison. Prison seems to have butched up Ghislaine Maxwell. She's now new jawbone and new nose.
Good Lord. They didn't even get close. You think they could have done a better job than that? Good grief. The trans-Iranian freaking, I don't even know what.
Middle-aged spread, or quite clearly not the same woman. Not only is Jeffrey Epstein not dead, but Ghislaine Maxwell is not in prison. The woman pictured is not Ghislaine Maxwell. Do they already swap Ghislaine Maxwell for a body double? Am I seeing things? Ghislaine Maxwell, please fifth. This is from news site. Oof. I mean, yeah, dude, it does.
She's way better looking than that one. She's prettier than
seriously look like Michael Myers, right? Looks like Michael Myers playing Ghislaine Maxwell. People are saying it's not the same nose. Good morning. Ghislaine Maxwell has been replaced by a Chinese Temu cardboard cutout body double for her deposition. You can't make it.
Oh my God, you can't make.
Here we go. You're not ready for this conspiracy theory.
Oh my God, it looks like Bruce Lee. Oh my God. Full stop. It's not her. She looks more like Michael Myers than Ghislaine Maxwell.
Is Michael Myers playing Ghislaine Maxwell? And also, this is like clearly a perjury trap, right? You can see in newly released video that here's Ghislaine Maxwell bringing women in to Jeffrey Epstein's Palm Beach apartment. She's like effectively like just delivering women to him. What would this be for? Well, you can see in this email the purpose of delivering women. You can see in this email from the Epstein files the hidden camera pointing directly at a bed. Are you okay with this layout? The bed is in the rear of the room with the sofa in front. If you're sitting up in the bed, you can still see the entire screen. There you go. The secret cameras pointing at the bed. Emails with Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell. Now their hidden camera footage finally being released. Ghislaine Maxwell knows so much. Sure as hell would be nice to know what she saw. I don't know, many of these fascinating situations. Like when she's staring literally down the barrel of Chelsea Clinton's. Like, why were you at the Clintons' wedding? What did Bill Clinton do in this scenario? But will we know if there's a body double? Oh, and one final little note here. Epstein jail guard used fake body to trick media waiting outside of the prison while pedophile's real corpse was loaded into a van, thrown into the trash compactor. Or maybe he's just living out his days in Tel Aviv. We don't really know, but wouldn't be the first time they used a fake body. So, guess we'll have to see. Ladies and gentlemen, is Ghislaine Maxwell even real? Or is she really in prison? Is she in Tel Aviv too? Let me know in the chat. Let me know. It's your boy Ben.
Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Before we get into this, I want to show you another picture real quick. Wait a minute, that's wrong. Remove that. Stop screen. Okay. You guys seeing this? Not saying anything after this. This is from the prison guard. Not saying anything after this. Please do not try to dox me. But last night, after the 04:15 in the morning count, they took him, Jeffrey Epstein, medical in a wheelchair, front cuffed, but not one triage nurse says they spoke to him. Next thing we know, a trip van shows up. We do not do releases on the weekends unless a judge orders it. Next thing we know, he's put in a single man cell and hangs himself. Here's the thing. The trip van did not sign in, and we did not record the plate number, and the guy in the green dress military outfit was in the back of the van, according to the tower guy who let him through the gate. You guys, I'm shaking right now, but I think they switched him out. I think they switched him out, just like they did Ghislaine Maxwell. They're out. They're free. They're out. Both of them are out. Military tribunal. Right now. Good Lord, you guys. Do we even need to talk about Nancy Guthrie anymore? They're in Guantanamo Bay. Military has them? I hope so. We better be in Guantanamo facing a court martial or whatever they do, firing squad. This guy,
We are back.
this is sleuth intuition.
Bun says I'm getting burned out. Not yet.
Your sources tell you that it's Guantanamo? I hope so. Hey, Suzanne.
Not yet, Bun. We're not quite there yet. Don't get burned out. It's not cold yet. Sandwich, welcome. Just joining. Have you been able to figure out if Kayla is related to Aunt Penny? No. No, I haven't. I need your help.
Luke Daley, driver of the Range Rover. Kayla Day, arrested the day before, drug charges, I believe. William Hubie, married to Kayla Day. The Days are related to the Guthries, I believe. The Transformation of America.
Here, let's start with this. How are we connecting? Why are we even talking about Kayla? I know we said that in the other stream. We had the power issue, and then so let's kind of connect Kayla to Tucson. Oh yeah, Chrysler Jeep Tucson.
All right, Chrysler Jeep Tucson. This guy is Hubie. He works at a dealership. Now we're talking about, this is going to blow your mind too. We're talking about Nancy Guthrie case, the SWAT takedown of the house and the Range Rover. This guy works at the dealership where the Range Rover, we believe, came from or sold from.
So he's working for a dealership. Is he somehow connected to the dealership that's related to the Range Rover?
Yeah.
Just some of the questions that I have. Sensei, what up? Sandwich. Apparently, from what Google AI has to offer, Aunt Penny is Savannah's aunt. Supposedly, Kayla is related to Aunt Penny. Yeah, but how? He had a beat-up vehicle in the front.
Statement of factual grounds for seizure or forfeiture. May 15, 2025, Marina police officers observed a vehicle driven by Luke Daley driving in a manner consistent with drug trafficking. Kayla Day was a passenger in the car. An officer walked by the vehicle while it was in Walmart parking lot, 7635 North Chola, Pima County.
Front of his car. And through radio chatter, we know that Zach and the Range Rover were connected to that home.
Yes.
Right? They were expecting Zach and the Range Rover to come back to the home.
Yes.
Right.
There's Luke. Matches perfectly with the mask man videoed outside Nancy Guthrie's home. All right.
So what if this guy with the dangerous past, whose girlfriend was arrested with Luke, this guy, selling drugs, in possession of a 9mm AR. It's kind of like a rifle. It looks like a rifle, but it's categorized as a pistol. Right? It could be very intimidating.
That's right, Taterbug. Unless they're getting paid millions of dollars to do it for revenge, make an example.
So you have Luke arrested with Kayla. Let's see, what were they arrested for? On May 15th, 2025, Marana police officers observed a vehicle driven by Luke Daley driving in a manner consistent with drug trafficking. Kayla Day was a passenger in the car. An officer walked by the vehicle while it was parked in the Walmart parking lot at 7635 North Choya in Pima County. Check this out. So let's pull that map back up. And let's take a look at where this Walmart is. Right. And it looks like Nancy's home fit right into their hunting ground, essentially. So you have friends, not lovers, Kayla and Luke. Kayla's married to a guy who has his own criminal past. And that's where we were right before the power went out. So let's go ahead and jump into that. Who is William? Right? He's a man with a past. That's it right now. No arrests, no nothing. Just a man with a past. Right. He was locked up with some pretty rough dudes, got Hell's Angels. And the Hell's Angels out here in Arizona are not to be played with. I covered a case recently where the Hell's Angels were getting into it with another biker gang, and there was multiple murders. Like not too long ago, just out here in Phoenix. So I've never heard of the Hell's Angels or a biker club like actually kidnapping somebody. But then again, I've never seen a political climate so toxic,
No motive. What do you think the motive is, Taterbug?
Other than what we've seen recently. And Savannah happens to be right smack dab in the middle of that toxicity. And I know that the Hells Angels are definitely probably more right-leaning. I know they would show up and give security for Donald Trump and things like that. So I don't know. Maybe it does go all the way down to organized crime. I'm not sure. I don't know if William is even still connected with these guys. This was a while ago. But let's see what got him in trouble and what put him in contact with such a rough bunch. like a tragic scene. 80-year-old woman lost her life. Human smuggler gets. Remember, we had somebody stating that a tip to TMZ was trying to claim that Nancy had been taken over the border into Mexico, and that this person had seen it and knows the person who was with her, and that it was 100% Nancy. On Sierrita Mountain Road, south of 3 Points, caused by a Tucson area man who swerved into oncoming traffic when he attempted to flee from Border Patrol agents. William Ken, I think it's Webby. It could be Hubie.
Yes, it's personal with the Epstein files. Somebody's getting paid to do something.
Illiterate. 31, was sentenced to 11 years prison for attempting to smuggle 2 Mexican men into the United States when he slammed into a white station wagon and killed an 80-year-old woman. Okay, so who would kidnap a woman and hold her for ransom? What would make somebody confident
Be right back, you guys. Hold it down for me, Taterbug.
enough to do that? Maybe somebody who could smuggle her across the border, right? Somebody who felt comfortable getting her into Mexico undetected. See where I'm going? Texas turnaround. All her charges are on AZ court case online. Warrant issued January 23rd, 26. Probably a failure to appear or condition of release violation. Well, there you go. So would that make her a witness? And why does everybody keep saying that Kayla is related to Nancy? Here's some of the things that I saw online. Still no verification. So we might be having our own symptoms of tunnel vision here. Right? Madeline Day tags Kayla Day. Grandma Nancy. They're saying that they referred to her as Nancy, or referred to Nancy as Grandma. Sorry. Here's something else that I found right before we went live. This is by Benedict J. Sweeney. Savannah Guthrie with Annie, once mentioned in a book, a cousin who enjoyed playing mock kidnappings as kids. Her name is Terry Day. In the recent kidnapping of Nancy Guthrie, Savannah quoted the Silence of the Lambs kidnapping scene. That's true. I played it on a live stream. I noticed that right away because I love that movie. Terry's daughter, Kayla Noel Day, long rap sheet, was arrested along with the guy driving the Range Rover. So she's got some of her facts right. So is this the true connection here? So we have Savannah Guthrie with Annie, once mentioned in the book, a cousin who enjoyed playing mock kidnappings as kids, is Terry Day. So Terry Day is the connection between Nancy Guthrie and Kayla Noel Day, according to Benedict J. Sweeney. It's very interesting if this is true. February 2026 on the 14th. Is that what that means? I'm not quite sure. I'm going to call down there probably later today. See if they have anything they can release on Kayla. So if Nancy's related, maybe they're trying to shut Kayla up. Maybe if she's going to court, she had a court date today or yesterday. Today or
where are we at, Taterbug? Silence of the Lambs thing is very creepy, right? Same exact thing. Eric Kirk is Mossad. Her and Ghislaine are probably buddies, right? Mossad's all over the world. You're correct. Anybody, Kirikou, John Kirikou? Anybody know John, CIA agent? John Kiriakou or something like that? Taterbug? Kiriakou? John? Mab knows a lot of shit. Yeah, George Carlin said, it's a big club and we're not in it. Thank God. Savannah Guthrie with Annie once mentioned a book, a cousin who enjoyed playing mock kidnappings and kids. Her name was Terry Day. All right. In the recent kidnapping of Nancy Guthrie, Savannah quoted the Silence of the Lambs kidnapping scene. Terry's daughter, Kayla Noel Day, long rap sheet, was arrested along with the guy driving the Range Rover, Anthony Daley. This is getting beyond coincidence. Kayla is a major drug user and hangs with drug dealers and also has a record of home burglary. Now, we're going to tie the days to the Guthries eventually here, okay? And they're going to be related. It's going to be Grandma Nancy.
Yesterday, maybe today. Yeah, I think she went to court today. So maybe she's the one that knows, like, hey, they've kidnapped the years in prison on Monday for trying to smuggle 2 Mexican men into the United States, an attempt that ended disastrously when he swerved into oncoming traffic while fleeing from Border Patrol agents and killed an 80-year-old woman.
Okay, we already know about this. This is Hubie. I think my dog needs to go outside. Hold on 1 second. He needs a treat. Something. Hold on, let's hit play. Let me take care of this doggy.
That's horrible. William Ken Webby, 31, was sentenced by U.S. District Judge Jennifer G. Zips for the transportation of illegal aliens resulting in death, said Cosme Lopez, a spokesman for the U.S. Attorney's Office. The sentencing was part of a plea deal made in March between Webby and the U.S. Attorney. Webby's partner, Robert Evan Butcher Jr., 26, pled guilty. All right, so write that name down. Robert Evan Butcher. You know, if he's trying to get a little crew back together, why not reach out to Mr. Robert? Robert, if you're out there, give me a call. Plead guilty and was sentenced in July to 48 months in prison. According to a plea agreement, Webby said on January 8th, 2015, he drove his Chevy Impala south on Sierra Mountain Road and picked up 2 Mexican men, identified as Efren Rantiera Zermeno and Javier Espinoza Burgos, who had entered the United States illegally. Both men told authorities that they expected to pay a smuggling fee and had been told to wait to be picked up by a blue car. Lopez said that Webby was traveling northbound when he spotted an unmarked Border Patrol vehicle and fled at an extremely high rate of speed along a two-lane highway until he recklessly swerved into oncoming traffic.
We know this
Webby slammed into a Ford Focus head-on.
Hubie is busted for this, right? We already saw this part. This is Zach in the Range Rover. Got cuffs on right there. You see him? White hoodie. Not Luke, Zach. The guy who owns the Range Rover and the dealership. OG Nanny. What's going on? Losing all my people. This is Hubie and Kayla. Kayla Day is Nancy Guthrie's niece, supposedly. We don't know that. This is Kayla Day's record. Stolen property, stolen property, stolen property, burglary, stolen property, theft. Superior Court. She was arrested the day before the SWAT raid. Kayla Noel Day was arrested. She's 32 years old. She was arrested one day before the SWAT raid. So on Thursday, she was arrested before the Friday SWAT raid on the Daley's house, Luke Daley. Okay. Hope you're tracking with me here. Gibbs of drug plain view, search on duffel bag on the passenger seat that held a 9mm AR pistol, loaded magazine. They had a backpack in her possession. This is Day. No, this is Day and Hubie selling drugs. We observed drug paraphernalia. officer did. Found a duffel bag, 9mm AR pistol, magazine. Kayla Day had a backpack that contained for sale Fent, 17 Suboxone pills, strips, and also found $1,366 and messages on the phone that they were actively selling these things. And there's kind of a chart here of the relations of these people. Feldman. So we got I can't even see it. It's far down there. Anyway, showing relationships. Now, in front of the Day's home was this crash Charger Challenger or whatever it was. If Luke has an injured hand, then he's the masked man on the video in front of Nancy Guthrie's house. And this is her book, Mostly What God Does, by Savannah Guthrie. But Annie also has a book called Dark Side or something like that. And we all seen this before. Her name is Terry Day. Terry Day's daughter, cousin, Savannah Guthrie, once mentioned in a book that a cousin, Terry Day, used to play mock kidnappings as kids. Terry Day's daughter is Kayla Noel Day. She's 32, long rap sheet. She was arrested along with the guy driving the Range Rover, Anthony Daley. This is getting beyond coincidence. Kayla is a major drug user and hangs with drug dealers and also has a record. Okay.
J. Sweeney said Savannah Guthrie with Annie once mentioned in a book a cousin who enjoyed playing mock kidnappings as kids. Her name is Terry Day. Terry's daughter is Kayla Noel Day. Who was Kayla Noel Day? She's mentioned as being arrested in 2025 with Luke. Well, why the hell is Luke seem so important? Like, who cares? They searched him. It wasn't him. He's just a bad guy. They checked him out. Move on, sleuth. Well, remember, we did this comparison. It's hard to move on when you have such a close match. He's not the only one that
Luke
tried to compare
right
him to.
there.
We even did Luke, remember?
Perfect
Wasn't
match.
even close. It's all in the eyes. Real eyes, real eyes, real lies.
There's him in a
Masked
different.
man.
That's the same guy.
We'll get some crypto out of it. I already don't like her daughter, Savannah. She's related to Kayla. And I believe that Kayla's going to snitch on me to make a deal with the prosecutor. Luke, if you're not going to snitch on me, right? Because I think it's possible that he was the boss man, right? And Kayla and Luke were out there looking like normal people. Maybe they didn't have any of their jewelry, clean cut, dressed nice, but out there, you know, moving weight, moving drugs, carrying a 9mm AR pistol, most likely a rifle or a short style rifle, could be very deadly, right? So you got Kayla.
This guy is Sleuth Intuition. I'll put a link down below after I get done with this video. I'll put links to this guy. You already know that Ken Hubie was sentenced.
This was posted by Tucson Alien Smugglers.
We already know this.
This is a government website by the U.S. Attorney's Office. Tucson, Arizona. Yesterday, William Ken, this is dated August 9th, by the way, 2016. Yesterday, William Ken Hubie, 31 of Tucson, Arizona, was sentenced by U.S. District Judge Jennifer G. Zips to 11 years in prison.
He got out early.
Well, he must have gotten out early. Does that mean that he's on parole right now?
Yes.
Yeah, if you're on parole and you have two people out there moving weight you just brought over the Mexican border, that would be, you're going to be spending a lot of time in prison. Right?
Yes.
We're looking for a motivator here. What's the motivation? Somebody had to have been motivated to go and become this masked man that we see. Well, Hubie had previously pleaded guilty to transportation of illegal aliens resulting in death. His co-defendant, Robert Evan Butcher Jr., who's 26, also of Tucson. So we need to look this guy up too, Robert Evan Butcher, just because. Was previously sentenced to 48 months in prison. On January 8th, 2015, Hubie was driving a car on a 2-lane road outside 3 Points, Arizona. Should probably take a look at that, 3 Points. He and a co-defendant, Robert Evan Butcher Jr., were smuggling 2 unauthorized aliens towards Tucson. So we read the article. We know what happened. This connects Kayla's husband with Mexico and smuggling.
Yeah, this is Kayla's
dealership history. Larry H. Miller, Chrysler Jeep, Tucson. He sells cars. Zach owns a car dealership. This was posted on his social media. I'm not too familiar with the Tucson area. Right? Geo-profiling. Where's Nancy? If she's alive, hands on the writing inside this book, like an ebook, like a PDF file where we can just kind of go through it, picking out key phrases and words. That would be very helpful. The name of the book is Mostly What God Does. There it is.
Yeah, what God?
Luke's brother, or is that Zach? No, Luke's brother is Matthew. I believe he may have been taken into custody. I'm not quite sure.
I'm going to have to wrap this all up in a nice, tight bow with you guys. Next video. Harvey Levin mentioned the word international. I think they're feeding him the storyline so he can finish out their investigation with the chosen patsy. Correct. It's going to be Luke Daley. It's going to be the patsy. Or Matt from the dealership. Or both. Including Kayla Day. That could be possible. That could be a possible co-conspirator.
Yeah, is this the crew? It's kind of similar. He's got the facial hair. He's kind of got the eyelashes, but the shape of the eyes are different. All Kayla would have to do is mention his name. Where'd you get? Help out a lot, because this is our 10-minute warning. We only have 10 minutes, and then we're out of here. Close. Same neighborhood, basically.
Hold on.
John Daley.
Mary Daley, the elderly lady who lives in the house with Luke Daley, was a therapist along with her deceased husband, John Daley, who owned that high-dollar house. Now their son's son, Luke Daley, lives there. She was taken to a neighbor's house during that raid with the SWAT. Is she friends with Linda Guthrie? That's a question. I don't know who Linda Guthrie is, but we're going to find out. Somebody owns an excavation company too. But I got to tie all this up for you guys, make a nice, but it's all coming together. Annie wrote a book. Savannah wrote a book. We got the audio from yesterday's video. We know this, Kayla Noel Day. So right now we're at Savannah Guthrie, blah, blah, blah. Terry Day, cousins with Savannah and Annie Guthrie. Her daughter is Kayla Noel Day, who is a long rap sheet.
There's a post by somebody named Benedict
Long rap sheet
Sweeney. Says Savannah Guthrie with Annie once mentioned in a book a cousin who enjoyed playing mock kidnappings as kids. Her name is Terry Day. Terry's daughter is Kayla Noel Day. Right? That would be an obvious motive either for William or for this whole group to target Grandma Nancy. Don't know if it's true or not. All right, let's take a couple more and then I got to get out of here. Catherine. Thank you, Sparky. There's the email replay crew. Oh, Sensei, thank you so much. Email you a link about the DNA update. Yep, appreciate that. Dang, I am way behind.
And
Anthony says no match on the DNA.
There's two.
Just remember, it hasn't been entered into CODIS yet. Legally, it can't. It's apparently owned by Zach.
Title on the Range.
William is listed as living very close to that dealership. He has employment history with dealerships. He's all.
So the title of the Range Rover was transferred on January 23rd. So it's like a month before, or less than a month before the crime. So I'm going to get all this packaged up for you guys by tomorrow. And we'll tie all this together. And I will show you who did what, when, how, who's responsible, and all of that shit. Right now, and all right, you're off tomorrow. Sweet. I'm off tomorrow too. I'm off every day because I'm old. 12 peeps. Hopefully we'll get some play on this later. I mean, I got almost 6,000 views on 2 videos in the last week. Now I only have 1,600 subs, or not even 1,600 subs, 1,580 something subs. So we're making a difference. All right, you guys. Taterbug, you're my main man or woman or whatever the hell. I'm right with you now. Okay? So we're going to wrap this up. We need the truth and we're going to get it. We're going to get it together. We're going to get it. The sleuth intuition with us and everybody, we'll get it done. So until then, the Mabster needs to get something to eat and maybe watch a little bit of Jay's Guilty of Crime stream. So, Mab loves y'all and peace out.